Hello again, everybody. So, Shar and I have decided to scrap tonight and reschedule because of some technology things. There's some weird things happening with the Facebook Live tonight. So you get me. You get me. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about having to change plans since I'm winging it now, because the plans that I had fell through thanks to something out of my control. And it used to be that when that would happen, I would get super stressed. I wouldn't be able to think straight, certainly couldn't create a cohesive sentence, and I would just kind of mentally fall apart. Of course, when it came to teaching in the classroom, I was constantly winging things and changing directions midstream, because you have to with high school kids, with any kids. Sometimes you have to adjust as you're going through. So I had that training behind me after, gosh, I don't even know how long I've been teaching now. Since 90, I think I started in 98, 96, 98. So it's been a few years where I have that constant, like, okay, this is what the feedback is. Okay, I've got to adjust and make changes. It's not always easy to do. And like I said, change used to be something that I hated. So since we were going to talk to Miss Sharlene Meakins tonight about her book, which I did the cover for, well, I didn't create the cover, but she used my artwork for the cover. I do create covers for any authors out there watching. Just reach out. I've done some amazing ones for some amazing books. But I'm going to pull up my book because I have info on change, and I just in this second decided I was doing this, so bear with me a moment. Tonight's Facebook Live has kind of been a mess. A lot of just waiting for things to work, and so we pivot. Pivot was the big word for 2020 with everything that happened with COVID, and everyone learned how to adjust to a new way of doing things, and change became a normal thing in many people's lives. My book is, when I publish it, the plan right now is to help you find a way to release everything that is holding you back from living a life that you love. It's about doing things differently, about discovering tools to help you uncover your true essence, who you truly are. And I will have a workbook, or at least journal exercises within it, depending on how I put it all together, to share the different tools that helped me in my own healing journey. The book right now, I feel like it's going to change and morph a little bit, is a journey to my truth. And perhaps it will guide others on their own journeys. There will be some concepts that are repeated throughout it, because often points need to be repeated over and over before we can really hear the lesson that we are supposed to learn. Change just one thing to begin changing your life. The change can be small. It doesn't take huge leaps of faith. I've made some very huge changes in my life. I went from teaching in a public school to just focusing on my art full time. And that was in 2016. So then I was trying to live in a space that was not conducive for me and in a relationship that was not conducive for me. And in 2018 began the end of that life, and I began to find where I needed to change to live a life that I loved. And then in 2019, I left that relationship. I ended up selling my house and hitting the road in this RV. So huge changes. You can start smaller than that. It doesn't have to be that drastic. And this full moon that's coming up, so I'm kind of venturing off of the book now. I'm following where the thoughts go. This full moon that's coming up is going to help you to see, as most full moons do, what it is that you still need to change in order to get into alignment with your truth. So there may be people, there may be locations, there may be jobs that are no longer in alignment with who you are. And those things are going to be more and more difficult to participate in. As this full moon comes around, you will start to feel that more and more and more. So what is something that you can change in your life that will help you to move forward? We often fall under the spell of other people, and we allow their words, we allow their expectations of us to change who we truly are. And eventually we forget who we came here to be because we're so busy trying to meet everyone else's expectations instead of living in our own truth. So I'm inviting all of you on this night of a change of plans of the original plan of the Facebook Live to change something that is going to allow you to get closer to your truth. That could be something as simple as getting up and journaling in the morning and writing about how you're feeling that morning, and then writing about how you really want to feel. Right now is a time to change your mindset, to change the thoughts going through your head and transition those into where you truly want to be in life. The biggest thing that you need to do is change how you're talking to yourself. And that can be one of the most difficult changes. Even quitting a job and going out on your own might not be as hard as changing the way that you are talking to yourself. When you look in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? Jay Shetty just posted on his Instagram the other day this little girl, and she's, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5. She's pretty small. Her language isn't fully developed yet. And she's standing there in the mirror and she's looking at herself and she's just saying, today is going to be a great day. You are beautiful. You are kind. And she's just saying all of these things to her reflection. Have you ever tried that? Can you even do that in your own mind? Can you change when you have a thought that comes up? Ugh, I look terrible in this. Can you change that into, okay, I may not look how I really wish I did look, but if I do this, it will help me get there. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. And then you make the effort. You move your feet take the action to make the change. So affirmations in the mirror are a great thing to do to help you to change how you're speaking to yourself. Catching yourself, awareness is the biggest healing tool that you can have. Just being aware of the thoughts in your own head, being aware of how you're spending your time. Time is such an important piece of our lives. You can't get it back. So are you wasting it on something that's really not in alignment with who you are? What can you change to start to live in your truth? It's time to make a change in your lives. And if plans change, it's possible that something else that's even better is on its way. And how you react to that change is either going to attract wonderful things or it will repel them. So it's all up to you. Are you willing to accept the change that's coming? There are big changes coming with this whole season. And it started clear back, I want to say way back in like 2012. The momentum has gotten rolling. Every time I say the momentum's rolling, I laugh because this that we live in is called the grand design momentum. But I digress. The momentum has been moving forward, pushing all of us to step into our power and step into our truths and stop living a lie that is not aligned with who you are. So what is one thing that you can change that will help you get closer to your truth? And Sparrow just popped in to say hello as I say goodbye. So good night to all of you. We'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.